Hey
Hey YouTube,
YouTubers!
that's MJ. And guys, we're going to talk to you guys today about something that MJ and I mentioned briefly on another video that we did. Link will be in the description below, along with MJ's link in the description below. If you haven't already checked him out, please make sure to go do so because he makes some really awesome content for you guys. Daily content for anime lovers.
Stop sucking me off, man.
Anyway, guys, so today we're going to be talking about SSJ Rage, or I don't know how to say it in Japanese, so whatever.
Super Saiyajin Akari.
There you go. There
I'm
you
just
go.
kidding. That was horrible. Guys, don't click off this video. Please stay on here. Please.
So we're going to be talking about that particular transformation and why it should just remain exclusive to Trunks. Now, we talked about this kind of briefly here and there before, man. A lot of the people in the community have talked about this briefly here and there.
Yeah.
But the one thing that we do know is that there's a lot of people who believe or think that Gohan will get this transformation sometime during the Tournament of Power. Because one of the things he said is that, you know, he wants to kind of reach further beyond and all this other stuff. And there's no indication that he's ever done any type of ritual, you know, other than what he did with the Elder Kai back in the Buu arc. But we know that he's not necessarily doing the God ritual. We don't necessarily know how it would be possible for him to bring out the blue transformation, even though we want to see that as a fan base too. So one of the things is, well, Trunks kind of got this ass pull transformation. Why can't Gohan get it? And so he can become Super Saiyan Rage just like Trunks can, and we don't have to create a whole nother transformation or something even more of an ass pull than what Rage was. And I say nay. I say nay. I think Super Saiyan Rage, as much of an asshole as it really was, it's kind of a situation where it made a whole lot of sense for Trunks' character. As I've said before, it's like it was weird. It's like, you know, he just became just as strong as Goku and Vegeta just because he got mad. But we've seen ever since the beginning of Dragon Ball Z just how much potential half-breed Saiyans have. And it's been commented on so many times in the manga and the anime, even in Dragon Ball Super, they've commented on this stuff. And when it comes to the potential and everything that builds up for that particular thing with Trunks, you just know that this guy, out of everyone else in the series, just deserves a transformation that's literally known as Rage. Because this guy grew up in a devastated future with the androids. And then, as soon as he fucking figured out that situation, he had to create time paradoxes on top of time paradoxes. He had to lose Goku again and lose his life and all of this other stuff. As soon as he figured that out, Goku Black comes and completely destroys everything and just messes with him for a year, killing his mom. Even when he was about to get Mai, you know, he's finally gonna get that girl, and then boom, you know, all of this stuff, this guy's been messing with him. So what are your thoughts, man? Like, do you think that it's a good idea to have it just exclusively to Trunks, or do you think there's a reason that Gohan should have it, considering Gohan is, you know, the rage monster of the series?
Even though Gohan is known for showcasing his potential, showing that he's a monster, you know, even Vegeta's mentioned in both the manga and the anime of Super that different continuities, but he's mentioned in both versions that Gohan just has potential greater than them, which is true. You know, even like in universe, they're acknowledging the potential of the half breeds because of how strong they can get, how fast they can improve, stuff like that, right? I don't think he should get this form. Now, guys, go check out World King Kanji and go look for his video, How Did Trunks Defeat Zamasu? He goes way more in depth and covers like, kind of the aspects of the entire Future Trunks arc and covers, you know, Trunks' power and stuff like that. So if you want to go check that out, make sure you do. It's a great video. Bless his soul, man. He was kind of like the diamond in the coal because everyone when that arc ended, everyone was just shitting on it. And here comes Kanji, like actually trying to make sense of it, and bless his soul for it because it did change my view on the arc. So make sure you guys go check that out. A lot of work, great guy. But going off of that, like, I can see like Kanji's points, I can see your points. It just makes sense for this form to be his because as much of an ass pull as it was, don't get me wrong, you know, it was definitely a form just to give him a form, you know. There is, I guess, a little sense to it because after watching Kanji's video, and of course after listening to you talk about this, the way I see that transformation now, and I actually went back and watched it a couple of days ago. I hit you up on text saying, hey, we need to do this video, right? I actually went back and watched it, and the way I view that scene now, it's like, you just gotta remember, Trunks has been through so much shit. Like, it's the idea that, don't get me wrong, Gohan's been through shit as well. He's been through shit, you know, he was literally kidnapped, like, at what, 4? five, and then beaten mercifully for like half a year by Piccolo. But no, don't get me wrong, he's been through shit, but the idea that Trunks has just been living in fear and the built up anger and rage that he's had, just wanting to destroy these cyborgs, and he couldn't do it, and then losing his mentor, and then, you know, finally going to the past and then having to endure the stuff there, you know, seeing his father get beaten over and over, seeing Goku actually die, you know, sacrifice his life, and then everything that happened in the past, then coming back, and then like Boo and Dabra or Deborah showing up, and you know, we can assume they're trying to gather energy for Boo. So if that's the case, like these guys were going around like stabbing people and taking their energy, and Trunks had to stop them. He loses. He trains with the Kaioshin, and then comes back, defeats him. Then like literally a year later, or I'm not sure if it's a year later, but sometime later, which is not too long, Black shows up, and then Black is going around murdering everyone. Because remember, the cyborgs, they played around for fun, and I guess they saw the world as their playground, so people die because of that. But here, Black is literally going from city to city, you know, civilization to civilization, just massacring everybody, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he's not giving a shit about this and that, so he's just massacring people. Trunks had to deal with that. And then, then people gotta remember this. In this scene, right before he transformed, remember just what happened. Goku literally got taken out. Like, Goku got taken out of his blue form. He was out of it. Goku did not wake up to a couple episodes later when he was put into that machine with Dr. Freeze. Goku was out. And then Vegeta could not do anything to these guys. And then on top of that, the icing on the cake is you have Black as a monster pretty much recapping all of the mistakes Trunks has made. So what I look at that now is I look at him just snapping. You know, it's like something in his head just snapped, and then that's when he transformed into the Super Saiyan Rage, Super Saiyan Fury, whatever you want to call it, you know. So I see that now, even though it's an ass pull, it can kind of make a bit of sense when you actually factor in everything that's happened to Trunks. And he's been through so much shit, and it just makes sense for him to kind of just like lose it, like Eminem, just lose your mind, just lose it in that moment, And then of course he learned how to master it. Now that's another ass pull right there, but I'm not gonna get into that. But he learned how to master it and all that shit. I think it should stay Trunks' form. It makes sense. It should be his exclusive transformation. Whatever Gohan's talking about, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, what he's on, but hopefully he doesn't pull like a Super Saiyan Rage or a Super Saiyan Rose, and then Goku and Vegeta are like, oh, we've seen that before, and Gohan's like, ah, shit. Remember, Gohan never saw those forms, so he may think they're new to him, but
No, I understand where you're coming from. In fact, honestly, the one cool thing that you mentioned there, I kind of glossed over, was the fact that, like, Babidi and Deborah came in and were like, we're gonna redo Boo or something. And it not only did that kind of patch up a huge plot hole that we've all been kind of talking about since, ever, especially since Trunks came back before they started talking about it. It's like, well, why didn't this happen? The cool thing I like about that, honestly, the best part about that is the fact that it showed that Trunks was a capable warrior who could have solved his own problems if he had actually figured out how to, like, awaken a certain amount of power. Because you got to remember how they power scaled those particular fighters, especially Deborah, during that particular arc. He was as strong as Perfect Cell. So he knew about the potential of a Super Saiyan 2. He just needed a little bit of help reaching that form. And just the idea of Trunks using the Z-Sword was pretty awesome. I wish they had focused on it a little bit more, but I understand why they didn't. And the thing is, like, I like that because it shows that Trunks was capable, and he only really ever goes back in time for things that he literally cannot handle. And I think that was really necessary for this story because up until that point, and even my criticism going into the Trunks arc as the beginning, is why is he going back again? Like, Trunks, I know Trunks has, like, he can't handle this, obviously. If Goku and Vegeta are the ones who are going to need to be able to handle this, that's fine. But why is every time we see Trunks is something he can't handle? and that goes a long way to showing just how dedicated and just how hurtful his situation has actually become, because he really has taken so much on his shoulders. And yeah, when he blows up, it makes a whole lot of sense. Now, I agree with you. The fact that he was able to kind of master that form is a bit of an ass pull. And I remember you and I did a video, I think almost immediately after all of that happened, it was weird. And the only reason Super Saiyan Rage is actually really weird is because Trunks has that God aura around him, and you think to yourself, well, what is that about? Like, did he somehow absorb God Ki? I mean, like, we just associate that milky white and blue aura to have something to do with God Ki because that's when it was introduced. That's how it was introduced, and maybe it has something to do with perfect ki control or something like that. But at the same time, you have, at the same time, you bust out that particular form with perfect ki control, if that's what that aura means. I mean, that makes really little sense. So we just associate it with God Ki. And you and I did that video where it's like, well, are Saiyans like demigods? How are they able to achieve God form anyway? Like, everyone else is like, the fuck? Like, even gods are like, this is weird. Like, it's so weird that they can become gods. And it only muddied the waters in that sense. And when you look at it in terms of Trunks and everything that he's been through, the fact that he has, rage or fury, depending on his entire lifelong situation, makes a whole lot of sense. And when you look at exactly what Gohan's going through or what Piccolo's teaching him, it goes completely counterintuitive. It's counterintuitive to that. Like,
yeah, definitely. If you guys don't know what Mark's talking about, episode 88, which I'm pretty sure you guys have probably seen already, it's one of the most hyped episodes, is the idea that it's great that you can use anger. Like, all Saiyans have done it before. You can use anger and power yourself up. But Piccolo says even though you can't get power by, just getting angry, at the same time, it hurts you because when you get angry like that, it blinds you. It causes you to get drunk with power and you don't know how to actually do anything with it. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen Goku get angry before, and it sometimes it backfired on him, and then we see Gohan get angry, and every single time he got angry, it backfired against him, like, Cell and then Boo, etc. So
no, yeah, and the one thing I was telling you in the other video we did is, like, the one thing I would really like to see, like I said, think about Super Saiyan Rage is like blonde hair, normal Super Saiyan, like Rage Fury aura, just like like large flames around them with that milky blue texture that's kind of all around or I don't know, even like kind of in the blue or something, or in the blue and in the yellow. I don't necessarily know how to explain it. Like, the one thing I would really like to see, considering, whatever you call it, Super Saiyan Ultimate or Super Saiyan God Ultimate or something, but like, just have Gohan in his mystic form with the Bang, because everyone knows the Bang is the source of his power. And just have no aura at all. Like, no white aura, no gold aura, no nothing. Just have him surrounded by this kind of calm, milky blue God aura. It's like, it's not furious, it's not raging, there's no like kind of flame aspect to it. Just have him surrounded by that like perfect ki control type of aura. That would make a whole lot more sense than something like him getting Super Saiyan Rage. And like we said, every Saiyan at this point selling toys, regardless, they can give Gohan Super Saiyan Rage, they can give Vegeta Super Saiyan Rage in Dragon Ball Heroes. They could sell toys, they could do anything they want. But when it comes to the show, everyone should have their own particular type of transformation.
I completely agree with you, man. I really do.
Anyway, guys, we're going to leave it at that. Please make sure to go down in the description section below and check out all the videos that we talked about in this video. I'll link every single one of them. Please make sure to go check out MJ for more content that y'all would definitely like to see. And please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we're going to catch y'all later. Bye.
Bye.